What is good, my people? I don't know why I say, maybe I can say my people now because somehow 103 people have subscribed to my slop workout content. Like I said in some of my other videos, I really just started recording this mostly for myself just because YouTube is technically infinite free Google storage. I can upload as many videos as I want and not have to worry about hitting a certain 100 gigabyte or 1 terabyte size limits that you have on something like Google Drive. So I can literally just upload every single session that I do and have infinite amount of access to all the sets and exercises that I've been doing throughout my whole lifting career from now on. So that's my plan. And if anybody wants to come along for the ride, that's on them. I personally don't find these videos incredibly entertaining. I literally would only use them to go back and see how was my form looking at a certain session, but I appreciate everybody who has subscribed or commented or anything like that. So if you're somebody who's subscribed to the channel, leave me a comment down below. Let me know why you subscribed or what you like about this content. And maybe I'll keep that in mind. We are going to have some I know I keep saying this, but we will for real have some education stuff posted by the end of this year, I would say. I want some like very official, well-produced educational course style content for free to be posted on this platform. But I'm having a little bit of trouble with it because I want it to be perfect. And because I want it to be perfect, it's kind of stopping me from starting. And I really just need to get beyond that. I've already got my recording studio and everything set up. It's just coming down to the content. Because let's say I record something now and it has content and topics that I have a lot of knowledge about. I am always learning more, and whatever topic it is, you could be an expert on it and you can continue to learn more. And I feel like I'm gonna have this tendency where once I learn a little bit more, I'm gonna want to revise it or change the video or do something like that. And then it's like a whole hassle of now I'm recording something 6 months later when I recorded the first course. Maybe I look different, maybe I'm wearing different clothes, so things are a little bit different, I talk a little bit different. And then if I insert the revised video into this course, it's gonna kind of mess up the flow. So maybe I then have to record the whole course over again. This is the dilemma that I'm in right now. But I think the real answer is I just need to suck it up and just start recording and figure that out later. So hopefully I will get on that within the next month, at least start recording some stuff. And then you guys will actually have a reason to subscribe to this channel because I want to make it so that you can learn everything in a completely engaging and encompassing way when it comes to natural bodybuilding and later enhanced bodybuilding as well. You can just have everything, all the information for free. Like there's coaches and they make courses like J3U or Callum Rastrick. I recently signed up for his Pro IQ stuff where they charge for this information. It's pretty expensive. I think that I have a unique position right now where I have the time to make the content. So I kind of just want to make the content and put it out for free. And then everybody has access to that and won't feel the pressure or the need to pay for courses, especially when a lot of people can't afford them. So I'm yapping now. I took my pre-workout like an hour and a half ago. So I think it's time to just lock in and start banging out some reps. I think we're starting the lat pull down. I'm gonna do a little bit heavier to get that post-actuation potentiation. See, I should know that word better because we're gonna make some course content on it. But you know what I'm talking about. We'll do that and then we'll hit the working sets. Oh, that's heavy. Gnarly. All right, we'll go. Last time we did 120, and like I said, I'm gonna stop chasing picture perfect form so much and experiment with making sure I'm doing the target joint action that we want to do, but not hyper fixating on maintaining picture perfect form and see if that makes a difference in my results, my physique, how progressions are happening. Again, it comes down to experimenting over time and finding what works for you. So that is what we're doing today. The over ears today, that's something that kind of sucks is based on the machines you're using, the exercises you're doing, some days you can use the over ears, some days you can't. Like on leg day when I'm on the hack squat, I can like kind of get jammed in there, so I can't really use it. I gotta switch the AirPods for some of them. But we don't have that problem today. We're doing full exercises. still clean. Quick reps, quicker than last time, not as slow and controlled. But if you look on the video, I bet it looks pretty decent still, not in ego lifting territory. Or I've seen some people on Instagram, on TikTok, they've got some horrific lat pull down form. People just butcher way too hard. Like, I don't know why the ego goes so crazy. I think if you have an insane amount of ego on lat pull downs, you just gotta switch to pull ups. Like, just switch to pull ups, bro. It's gonna do you a lot better because it's gonna be really hard to ego lift on pull ups, and it'll teach you that whole element of shoulder adduction that a lot of people just are lacking in. Like, people, if you show me somebody's back, I can usually tell you how their pull up and pull down form is gonna look. And if you can really just dial in and learn the movement pattern on pull ups, it will serve you very well when you try to go to pull downs like this. Got 14 for the first 2 sets there. Let's see how this third set is looking. Ah. What is that, 13? Ooh. You know, one thing I've been really lazy about is shaving, bro. It's been probably a month since I've shaved, which probably sucks for my coach because that means every week I'm sending a check-in, just getting hairier and hairier, and it's blurring the detail more and more, so I can't even really tell if any changes are happening. But I'll be better about that when I wake up tomorrow. I was gonna do it today, and then I just did my laundry and all this kind of stuff, and by the time I took my pre and I had my shower, it's like I don't have an hour and a half to spare to shave my whole body before I get to the gym and stuff. So I'm gonna make sure I lock in and just do that tomorrow. Physique updates will come back soon. Try to set up the camera in a way that we can kind of see what's happening at the scapula for this upper back row, because that's really gonna dictate how much you're biasing your lats versus your upper back. Those traps and rhomboids and all that stuff is going to function to retract the scapula and retract your shoulder blades. So when I'm doing a movement like this, I try to focus on initiating with that retraction and then doing the, what is this, shoulder extension? Yeah, shoulder extension. So I lost my train of thought as I was thinking about that. So let's do this set and I'll just demonstrate instead of yapping about it. Alright, that's good for the first one. Probably could have busted out more partials, but the range of motion would have been decreasing as we increased the reps there. So might not be able to see it because I'm wearing a baggy shirt, but you might see my traps kind of shrugging back, and again, that's that scapular retraction occurring. Good bump in weight. I think last time we only did 40, we're at 60 now, and pretty much the same reps. So I haven't done this movement in a while. It's to be expected that we'll take big jumps at the beginning. Okay. You need to be bearing first loss out here. But when you're using straps, make sure you cinch that down like real nice and tight. Think about it like a motorcycle grip. I see like a lot of people when they're using straps for the first time, they just wrap it around and they don't even get the slack out. It's defeating the purpose of using the strap in the first place. See, I'm like wrapping it and then I'm holding it in place and twisting so it really gets on there tight. Or just get Versa grips. Ah, 10.5. Let's call it 10. I'm gonna bump the weight anyways next time though, so it's whatever. Moving on to the low row now. I've set up the camera directly next to me so I can pay attention to exactly how far I'm bringing my arm out. And on this, I'm really just trying to get in line with the torso. You don't really need to go all the way back here. We're mainly training the last, but you can use the low row for everything. Depending on your arm path, you can take a little bit wider and then get some, also again, scapular retraction, involve the upper back a little bit more. Almost like similar to Kelso shrug motion. So you can use it for a variety of different stuff. If you had to just pick one row to do and nothing else, I would recommend this one just because it's gonna hit your whole back into it all, but I digress. So I'm mainly trying to focus on the lats here, so I'm just gonna be pulling in line to the torso. And then, what was I gonna say? Yeah, this machine from Panada, it's really nice, but maybe this one has just worn down a little bit and one of the handles kind of screws on there and a lot of times they get loose. There's been so many times, especially when I was doing some heavy four reppers, 3 reppers, I would load this up so heavy that it literally felt like my arms were gonna get pulled out of their sockets, and come to find out the handle was loose and I've literally like gone to pull it back, had it back there, and then the handle just like snaps off. My arm like flies back, almost like dies. So fortunately I checked and it was loose today, so I screwed it back on before we started the sets here. One, two, 3. This is so tough, bro. It like pulls you so hard into the pad that it's just like simultaneously crushing your soul while you're to pull. What was I gonna say? I forgot. We'll wait until the next set. Ooh, I remember what I was gonna say. When you're doing rows like this, always think about the elbows. Don't just think about pulling. Think about dragging the elbow, not only back, but also think about dragging the elbow down. That's really gonna help get that cue and also contraction on your lat that a lot of people are missing. So highly recommend implementing that and watch your back blow up. Nah. I'm destroying my hands right now, bro. I just cut my torso. What was that? 5.5. I'm just gonna say 5. Dude, getting to the machine is so hard. One. See, it's feeling weird in the strap right now, so I'm just gonna cut it there. It's another 5 repper. We are out of rep range right now, so next time I come in, just keep it at the same weight. Or potentially, I, I know me and my ego's not going to drop the weight, so I'll be the same way and we'll just work it up. Next up is supposed to be dumbbell shrugs, but as we've seen now, 9 times out of 10, scapular elevation like this just ends up getting me injured, and I can't train anything. So, going to replace that with Kelso shrugs. They're really going to both do most of the same thing and train the traps the way we want them to. So, I'm not too worried about it, and this will honestly probably be better. So, I don't get injured and I can actually continue to train. Just got to set the machine up on the proper settings, and then we'll be good to go. I think next set's supposed to be 12 reps. So let's put another 10 on each side. Might take a few sessions to figure out what our weight is. Trying to be a little bit careful. I don't want to, even though it's a different movement than the shrug, we haven't done it in a while, and it is the same muscle, so we could end up in a similar injury position. So just taking it easy, not going crazy. Let's see, we're 8 reps for the last one. I think I might just bump it by 5, call it there. Yeah, once we progress this, we're definitely going to need a spotter. We're going to move on to abs now. But before we do that, remember how last video I talked about doing an experiment where I don't do Cinnamon Toast Crunch before my workout, don't do Gatorade powder in my intro that I hit at the beginning, as well as the intro drink that I sipped throughout the workout. Look at my arm. No veins. So that is some of the effects that having sufficient carbs during your workout is going to do. Give you sufficient muscle glycogen to get a pump, all that good stuff. Give yourself immediate glucose in the bloodstream that your body can pull from when you're exercising. Are GLUT4 transporters, which are in the muscle cells and do not need insulin to shuttle carbs into the muscle. These are going to be active during resistance training. So when you have glucose that's in the bloodstream readily available, those GLUT4 transporters then come to the surface of the cell and pull that glucose in, which is going to help you get for a little bit of a better pump. And that pump is going to push the veins out and give yourself more pronounced vascularity. I also don't know where I was going with that, but science, right? Weighted, supposed to be weighted decline sit-ups, but I'm weak. My abs are weak, so I can't even do a weight. So we're just gonna do body weight, 4 sets of that, to see if we can beat the reps that we did last time. I'm gonna have to take off the headphones here because they'll be all flapping around the place if I keep them on. What is this, bro? You're extremely chopped, bro. Skin is cooked. Focus. You know, they say this like they don't know me, you know. Here we are, bitch. I ain't trying to help me, I got no issue with a rubber, but I got a rubber. Don't need money, bring me. God, you want me, but bro, we can't be right no smart. Oh, but see, got it. Can't believe it, I'm still in no apartment. Finish man when they got me in off. Me and all feels like you don't off. Me and all over surfing and fine. All the G, go pay for the charge. I got running. Gotta convince the bum ass abs to give me decent sets here. Oh, took a little bit of a longer rest session last set here. Six and I'm just gonna say six. I think we just move on to biceps now, and then we will be done for the session. Only 2 bicep exercises today. We are kicking things off with barbell curls, going slightly ambitious. Our rep range is supposed to be 12 to 15. Last time I was like 13, 12, and then 11. So ideally I should probably just keep the same weight and work up the reps, but screw it. We'll just go 60 instead of the 50 and hope we can get at least close. I'm gonna take 11 for the first one. Probably had at least a couple more, but if we're just taking our first set to failure, then we're just gonna see a significant drop off in the rest of the sets. Nice. Max reps went slightly closer to failure, but still decent distance away. One thing I've noticed is biceps respond for me better with leaving more reps in reserve, at least 1 rep in reserve. And I think there's some papers that actually showed when they were testing RIR and they did multiple different muscle groups, the biceps were responding better. Might be, again, because they're best trained in the length position, which can damage them very easily. So when you're training very close to failure, again, that last rep to failure might not be the most stimulating one, but it is the most fatiguing one. So that might be playing a role in terms of why leaving reps in reserve, especially for biceps, will be a little bit better. Dude, I'm doing high volumes, bro. Like way higher volumes than I was before. So not too worried about eking out like one little last rep on each one. I had more than 1 rep in reserve for that, but we'll be fine. Third set on this one, but we still have 2 sets of incline dumbbell curls. So won't go all out, but I'll go a little bit closer to failure than the previous sets. So hopefully we can get 11 on this one, maybe go 12. Okay. That was 11 with at most 1 rep in reserve. So happy with that. Now we do some very steep or very shallow incline curls. I believe that's around 30 degrees. I'll check with my, that's another tip if you're trying to, sometimes different benches have different settings. So if you want to make sure you're getting the angles right, just open the level or measure app on your phone, go to level. Here, why am I telling you when I can just show you? Check this. So I don't even know if you can see this. Then go to the measure app. Oh my God, focus on this. Go focus. And go to level. And then I just put it on the bench like this. And that's nice. I was right, it's 30 degrees. So we're good. I don't know how much of this you can see, but we've got 2 sets of incline dumbbell curls, and it specifically says to focus on the stretch. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause in the lengthen portion a little bit. And now one thing that you should note is on your incline curls, we want to get the biceps in a more lengthened position so that there's still tension at the bottom. I definitely move the camera back here. All right, hopefully that's better. So I have the incline set up, but if I just sit like this, that's just kind of defeating the purpose. We want to keep the incline and keep those. See, now there's tension on the bicep here. Whereas from like this, gravity just acting straight down. There's no actual force being applied to the bicep. So that's the benefit of an incline dumbbell. And I'm just going to pause in the stretch position a little bit more. Let's hit the first set. All right, 9 for the first one. I think that's a match in performance from last time. So we'll take that for one more set. Squeeze out a progression on that one at least. Final set. Go crazy. Okay, that was, I think, 10. I have to watch it back and count. Smaller progressions there, not as big of a jump. And that's one thing to consider is when you're doing biceps, don't expect to see the kind of progression jumps that you see on other muscle groups. Jumping from a 20-pound dumbbell to even a 25-pound dumbbell is an incredible percentage difference in the work that you're doing. I mean, that's a 25% jump. Yeah, I'm not an idiot. That is 25%. So think about it. You're going to need a significantly bigger muscle to make that jump. And if you are making that jump, it is much more likely to be neural adaptations taking place than pure contractile tissue addition. So don't stress about it too much. That's a very good session, especially for not having, I'm liking how this experiment's going, because now I can place food more around my other meals. Not that I really need to do that. In fact, I probably do want to have intra just because right now I'm actually in a point where it's kind of hard to get all the food in. So I just want to do this for fun, see how the performance was looking in sessions, but that's going to be it for this. Hopefully tomorrow I actually shave, and then in future sessions we'll bring back posing. I think when I shave, I might make a YouTube video on how to shave, because I feel like I've learned a lot of stuff over time about how to do a full body shave. Make sure you're using the right tools and things like that. And when I previously searched for a tutorial like this, I didn't really find very good resources. So maybe I'll throw a video up for that, but then I have to record myself almost like half naked. I do that on a regular basis, it'll be fine.